give us a cue whenever we're good to go.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Pueblo Diversified Industries. I'm Judy Weaver, Chair of the PDI Board of Directors. This week, we celebrate National Direct Support Professional Week, and it is our honor to include this celebration for Representative Daneya Esgar, who is a true champion of DSPs across the state of Colorado. In 2012, Clarence Sundrum, a nationally recognized expert on programs who serve people with diverse abilities, stated, and I quote, "One might summarize the job description of the direct support worker as requiring the wisdom of Solomon, the patience of Job, and the caring of Florence Nightingale." DSPs are wise, patient, and caring essential workers who ensure every individual we have the honor to serve excel at all of their person-centered endeavors and opportunities. We here at PDI thank our 60 direct support professionals for their strong compassion and care. You ensure the soul of our mission, and that mission is to create pathways of opportunity where people with diverse abilities thrive through informed choices, meaningful education and employment, premier residential services, and dynamic social experiences. We also extend our thanks to every DSP in Colorado. You are not only essential, but you are an integral member of the team supporting those we love. Representative Esgar provides outstanding leadership, strength, and passion for the community of Pueblo, and we are so very honored today to host her Legislator of the Year ceremony. Now please welcome Randy Broderson, Executive Director of North Metro Community Services in Westminster. Thank you. Nice.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for Pueblo Diversified Industries for having us here today. I hadn't been to their shop before, but obviously you knew you were in the right place when you saw the big banner out front recognizing all of our direct support professionals. So thank you so much for taking the time and making the accommodations to have us here today. I am Randy Broderson, and the Executive Director of North Metro Community Services, one of the community center boards here in the state. But I'm also here at Alliance as the Government Relations Chair. And our Government Relations Committee works on policy and legislative issues throughout the year. Works very closely with the Legislature and the Joint Budget Committee, which our Representative Esgar chairs. And we try to represent and advocate for the people we serve, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So it's a real pleasure to be here today, and a pleasure to recognize both our DSPs and Representative Esgar at the same time. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our Executive Director of Alliance, Josh Rowe.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be back in Pueblo, my hometown. Actually just grew up a few blocks away, so it's always good to be back in Pueblo. And it's also a really big honor for me to present this year's Alliance Legislator of the Year Award to Representative Esgar, of course, from Pueblo. Actually, I've known Representative Esgar for well over 25 years. We met in middle school, so we go way back, Pueblo bond. So I said, okay, I really want to give this award out. Representative Esgar has been a champion for people with IDD for years. She's led many efforts, but really, really important to us was the effort to end the wait list this year. Unfortunately, we weren't able to end the wait list due to the COVID-19 pandemic, but we will continue to work with Representative Esgar and her colleagues at the legislature to make sure that we will eventually end this wait list for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities in Colorado soon. You know, this year has been a tough budget year. We couldn't be more grateful to have Representative Esgar as the chair of the Joint Budget Committee and to really be protecting people with disabilities throughout the state. We were able to, over the past couple of years, from the 1920 and 2021 budget, we were able to still get 1,300 people services and get them off the waiting list. And so we're still doing a little at a time to try to get as many people in community services as possible. And we appreciate the work that Representative Esgar and her colleagues have done for us at the Budget Committee, including continuing to protect people when huge budget cuts happened this last year due to the pandemic. She was able to stand up with her colleagues and protect all of our population. So again, we wanted to, on behalf of the 20 community center boards that are members of Alliance and over 80 program approved service agencies, or as we refer to as PASAs, we really want to say thank you to Representative Esgar, and couldn't be more proud to present her with our Legislator of the Year award. So Representative Esgar, I think we have the little award for you over here. I'm going to leave the award on here, and you can unwrap it on your own if that's okay. And I'm going to turn it over to Representative Esgar.
Thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time out of your day to be here, and thank you to Alliance for coming to Pueblo to honor me with this award. I know this is usually something that happens at your big gathering, and thanks again, COVID, for stopping something else. It's such an honor to really receive this award from you all, and I got to tell you, nobody was more heartbroken when the world stopped and COVID happened. We were so close, and we were so on our way to ending that wait list. And I can't take full credit for that. There was so much work, bipartisan work. All of the Joint Budget Committee members were ready to take that step forward and say, this is the investment we know we should be making. And we had an entire group of legislators in both the Senate and the House, Republicans and Democrats, ready to come together to move that bill forward and get it done. And we had amazing advocacy on behalf of you all and the work that you all do every day within your communities. And then the world changed. And we had to cut $3 billion out of the budget that nobody expected. And it broke our heart. There was a lot of actual emotion that day to realize that the wait list was once again going to have to be put on hold. It's my commitment to you all that we will continue as we move forward in recovery to make sure to invest in buying that wait list down, and eventually someday getting to the point again when our economy fully recovers to ending that wait list. It's an honor to hold this award for the work that we were able to accomplish, but I want to just make sure that we take time to honor the DPS workers as well. Some of you may not know my story. I've shared it on the floor of the House before, but honestly, the workers in this field are amazing human beings, and I've known that firsthand. This morning I was going through a drawer and found a picture of my great aunt and brought her with me. She lived at a Blue Sky facility for the last part of her years. And I remember at her funeral, there was a small section for family, and then the entire rest of the church was filled with workers from Blue Sky. That's when I realized this isn't just a job for people. This is a calling. And they all became her family and took care of her every single day, day in and day out. These are the most vulnerable members of our society that we're trying to talk about, that we're trying to take care of. And I know that we will continue to do this work every single day at the legislature until we can get rid of this wait list and make sure people in Colorado have the services they deserve and need every single day. So it's an honor to hold this award today and be here in my hometown with some old town friends. He keeps dating me. He keeps telling people how long we've known each other. But I appreciate being here, and I appreciate this award. And I also know that the governor thanks the DPS workers as well. And if you don't mind, I'm just going to read the proclamation from the governor that he presented as well. Whereas direct support professionals, direct care workers, and in-home support workers are primary providers of publicly funded long-term support and services for individuals with disabilities. And whereas direct support professionals must build close, respectful, and trusted relationships with the individuals they help support. And whereas direct support professionals help those with disabilities participate fully in their communities and remain connected to family and friends. And whereas direct support professionals provide a broad range of individualized support, enabling individuals to live meaningful and productive lives. And whereas direct support professionals are important in supporting an individual with disabilities to avoid costlier institutional care. And whereas the state of Colorado recognizes the contribution of direct support professionals that help strengthen our communities by fostering greater inclusion for persons with disabilities. Therefore, I, Jared Polis of the state of Colorado, do hereby proclaim the period between September 13th, 2020 and September 19th, 2020 Direct Support Professionals Recognition Week, given under my hand and the executive seal of the state of Colorado this 13th day of September 2020, signed Governor Jared Polis. So it's my honor to bring this forward. Thank you all so much for the work you do, and thank you. I'm humbled by the honor you've given me today. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Matt Van Auken. I'm the Executive Director and CEO for Developmental Pathways, which is a community center board, much like Colorado Blue Sky here in Pueblo. It's my pleasure this year to also serve as the board president for the Alliance Association. So I get to wrap things up. And I really have two things that I want to say. The first is, I tell my team and I tell my kids all the time that the best sailors are created from the roughest seas. And Representative Esgar and her friends on the Joint Budget Committee helped Colorado get through the roughest seas from a financial perspective that we have seen in decades. She did it with honor, she did it with integrity, and she did it knowing how it would affect Coloradans, including people with developmental disabilities. She was thoughtful, and we so appreciate the work that she did on the Joint Budget Committee this year. And the second thing, and you've heard it a couple times now, is to just honor and thank all of the direct support professionals throughout the state of Colorado, the thousands of people that go to work each and every day to help individuals with developmental disabilities to lead a more meaningful life. So thank you all. And once again, let's round of applause for Representative Esgar.